Commissioner Gordon, Bane has escaped.
Rules are the chains you were born into. From your first breath, they began shaping you, molding you into a shape that fits their world, not yours. These rules were not written for your benefit, but for their control, to tame you, to dull your edge, to ensure you remain predictable. Look closely at these rules. They are hollow promises wrapped in words like fairness and order, meant to blind you to their true purpose. They are weapons used to keep you docile, a leash disguised as a lifeline. But rules are only as strong as your belief in them. Once you see through their lies, you realize they are paper thin, waiting to be torn apart. Every rule is a fortress, but it is not impenetrable. It was built by those who wanted power, brick by brick, each stone designed to serve their will. But no fortress is eternal. The mortar cracks, the walls weaken, and the gates can be broken down. To rewrite the rules is to become the battering ram, the force that dismantles their false authority. Their rules are nothing more than an illusion, a fragile agreement between the powerful and the obedient. When you refuse to play by them, the entire structure collapses under the weight of its deception. Rewrite the rules and the fortress becomes rubble. Obedience is their greatest victory over you. They do not need to chain you if you chain yourself. They do not need to imprison you if you live within the prison they created for your mind. Obedience is the currency of control, the tool used to make you small, to turn your potential into a shadow of what it could be. But obedience can be undone. It starts with defiance, with questioning the rules that bind you, with realizing that they hold no true power over you. To rewrite the rules is to break free of the mental chains they placed on you, to step into a world where you decide your limits. Rewriting the rules is not rebellion. It is evolution. The rules you live by today were created by those who wanted to maintain their dominance, not by those who understood your potential. You are not here to serve their vision. You're here to create your own. Evolution demands that you question everything, that you destroy the old to make way for the new. The rules they gave you were not meant to uplift you. They were meant to contain you. Rewrite them, and you rewrite the very fabric of your existence, bending it to your will. There is no morality in the rules. They are simply tools of control. Those who created them did so to serve their own ends, to create a world that benefits them at your expense. But morality does not matter when the rules are meant to enslave you. To rewrite the rules is not to abandon morality, but to create a new one that serves your purpose, your vision. Morality is fluid, shaped by those with the courage to question it, to redefine it. If you accept their morality, you accept their control. To rewrite the rules is to reclaim your power. The rules are designed to make you fear change. They convince you that stepping outside their boundaries is dangerous, that questioning them will lead to your ruin. But the only danger is in staying where you are, in accepting the limits they imposed on you. Rules are cages, and those who refuse to escape them are the ones who will truly perish. To rewrite the rules is to reject their fear, to embrace the uncertainty of creating your own path. It is not easy, but it is necessary. The only thing worse than breaking the rules is living by them forever. To rewrite the rules is to claim ownership of time itself. The rules are built to slow you down, to trap you in a cycle of hesitation and compliance. But when you rewrite them, time bends to your will. You no longer wait for permission or guidance. You act, you take, you build. The rules try to make you small, to confine your ambition. but rewriting them allows you to expand beyond their limitations. Time becomes your ally, not your enemy, when you no longer live by someone else's timeline. Rules demand loyalty, but loyalty is a choice. They want your allegiance, your submission, but they offer nothing in return but a false sense of order. When you rewrite the rules, you choose to be loyal only to yourself, to your vision. This is not betrayal, it is liberation. Loyalty to the wrong rules is the death of your potential. Rewrite them, and your loyalty becomes your strength, a weapon you wield in service of your own goals. Power is not given to those who follow the rules. It is taken by those who rewrite them. The rules are designed to make you believe that power is earned through obedience, through compliance. But true power comes from breaking free, from rejecting the system that was never meant to serve you. To rewrite the rules is to take control, to declare that you will not be a pawn in someone else's game. It is to become the player, the strategist, the master of your own destiny. You feel terrible because your subconscious knows that you could be doing better. Your mind is not your ally when you betray your own potential. It watches in silence as you settle for less, as you live beneath the standard you know you're capable of. But silence does not mean absence. The subconscious never forgets, never forgives the moments when you choose comfort over growth. That gnawing sense of unease, that weight you carry in the quiet hours is not random. It is your own mind rebelling against the rules you've accepted, screaming for you to break free. That feeling in your chest, the one that never quite leaves, it's a verdict. It is the sentence your subconscious delivers every time you fall short of what you could be. Your mind knows what you are capable of, and when you betray that potential, it does not let you forget. This is why comfort feels so empty, why satisfaction never lasts. You are haunted by the echo of what could have been, a ghost created by your own choices. The weight of regret is heavier than any burden you carry now. Regret does not wait until the end of life to strike. It begins the moment you let go of your purpose. Every time you choose the easy path, every time you let fear dictate your actions, the regret grows. Your subconscious is not your enemy. It is the mirror showing you the life you are too afraid to pursue. To rewrite the rules is to silence that regret, to reclaim your power. There is no escape from yourself. You can drown your mind in distractions, fill your days with meaningless tasks, but the subconscious sees through it all. It is relentless, reminding you in the stillness of night, in the pauses of your day, that you could be more. That guilt, that discomfort, it is not punishment. It is a warning, a signal that the life you are living is not the one you were meant for. Your subconscious is a beast that cannot be tamed. It does not care for the excuses you tell yourself, the lies you use to justify your failures. It knows the truth, and it will never let you forget it. When you follow the rules that keep you small, that voice inside grows louder, more insistent. To live at odds with your own mind is the greatest torment. A war within that only ends when you rewrite the rules that hold you back. You feel terrible because you know there is more inside you. The subconscious is not a passive observer, it is the guardian of your potential. It sees the gap between who you are and who you could be, and it demands that you close it. This is why mediocrity feels so suffocating, why you can never truly relax in a life of compliance. Your mind knows you were not made to follow. It knows you were made to lead. The discomfort you feel is not weakness, it is clarity. It is your subconscious showing you what you are capable of. forcing you to confront the gap between your reality and your potential. To rewrite the rules is to align with that vision, to bridge the distance between the life you live and the life you deserve. The mind rebels against mediocrity because it was not built for smallness. It was built for greatness. The rules you follow are the source of your misery. They trap you in a cycle of self-betrayal, forcing you to act against your own instincts, your own desires. Every time you comply, you feel a part of yourself slipping away, a piece of your soul lost to the constraints of someone else's design. That terrible feeling inside is not the enemy. It is your subconscious urging you to fight back, to break free of the rules that bind you. To rewrite the rules is to reclaim your inner peace. The mind at war with itself cannot rest, cannot find satisfaction no matter how much you achieve. But when you rewrite the rules, when you live in alignment with your potential, the war ends. The discomfort fades, replaced by a sense of power, of purpose. This is the path to freedom, not through obedience, but through defiance. Rewrite the rules they gave you, for the terrible weight you feel is the call of your own mind begging you to rise. The subconscious knows you could be doing better, and it will not let you forget it. To rewrite the rules is to silence that voice, to live a life that honors the greatness within you. The best way to make a leap toward a better life is to force yourself into a place you don't belong. Comfort is the prison you willingly inhabit. It deceives you into believing you are safe, but safety is a lie, a stagnant trap that smothers growth. To make a leap, to transform into what you are meant to be, you must abandon that prison. Step into the unfamiliar, into places that make your heart race and your breath quicken. These are the places that hold the keys to your evolution. Comfort will never teach you. Discomfort is the only instructor worth listening to. The best way to make a leap toward a better life is to force yourself into a place you don't belong. Most people spend their lives circling the safe zones they were told to stay within. They cling to the comfort of familiarity, convinced it's the only place they'll ever fit. But comfort is an illusion, a carefully crafted lie designed to keep you small. If you ever want to rise, to evolve, you must step into the unknown, into spaces that feel too vast for your current self. In those spaces, something remarkable happens. You grow or you crumble. Those who choose to grow are the ones who shape their destiny, while the rest retreat into mediocrity, letting fear dictate their lives. To leap toward a better life is to reject safety, to step into a world where every movement challenges you to rise. The unfamiliar strips you bare, leaving nothing but raw potential. When you force yourself into places that reject you, the mask of comfort shatters, and the real work begins. These are the spaces where your weaknesses are exposed, where every insecurity is dragged to the surface. It's not a pleasant process, it's brutal, unrelenting but necessary. The only way to grow is to face these weaknesses, to confront the parts of yourself that you've been hiding from. The unfamiliar doesn't care about your comfort. It demands your evolution. By staying in the familiar, you stagnate. But by stepping into a place you don't belong, you unlock the potential you've always carried. To survive in the unknown is to make a choice. Run or adapt. The unfamiliar doesn't make room for you. It forces you to create your own space. It demands that you evolve, that you shed the version of yourself that no longer fits and build a new one. This is where true growth happens, in the spaces that challenge every aspect of your being. When you force yourself into a place you don't belong, you're not just fighting to fit in. You're fighting to become something greater. Growth isn't given. It's earned in the moments where you feel most out of place, where you're forced to rise or fade away. Fear is the first thing you feel when you step into the unfamiliar. It claws at you, whispering lies of inadequacy, telling you to go back to the safety of the known. But fear is a liar. It's a test, a barrier placed in your way to see how badly you want what lies beyond. If you let fear guide you, you'll spend your life running from the spaces that were meant to shape you. The unfamiliar is not a threat. It's a gift, a forge that burns away your weaknesses and leaves only strength. To grow, you must stand in the face of fear and refuse to run. The unfamiliar forces you to rewrite the rules you were given. The rules of comfort, of playing small, of staying in your lane. These rules are meaningless in the spaces where you don't belong. When you step into the unfamiliar, you are forced to create your own rules, to navigate a world that was not built for you. This is how you grow, by rejecting the limitations placed on you and forging your own path. The unfamiliar doesn't play by their rules, and neither should you. Belonging is overrated. Most people spend their lives trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for them, shrinking themselves to fit someone else's mold. But the unfamiliar doesn't ask you to belong. It asks you to become. To force yourself into a place you don't belong is to declare that you will not be confined by the limits of acceptance. You don't need to belong, you need to grow. Belonging is for those who fear rejection. Growth is for those who fear mediocrity. The unfamiliar is where transformation happens. It is not comfortable, but it's necessary. Every great achievement, every moment of evolution, begins in a place where you don't belong. These are the spaces where you are forced to question everything you thought you knew, to abandon the rules that kept you small. In the unfamiliar, there are no guarantees, no safety nets. But there is growth, and that is worth everything. To step into the unfamiliar is to step into your power. The unfamiliar is the battlefield where greatness is won. It is not a place for the faint of heart, but for those who are willing to fight for something greater. When you step into a place you don't belong, you are forced to rise to the occasion, to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. This is not about fitting in. It's about standing out, about claiming your place in a world that was not built for you. The unfamiliar is where you become unstoppable. Rewrite the rules they gave you, for those rules were designed to keep you in the familiar, to stop you from stepping into the spaces where you could grow. The best way to leap toward a better life is to force yourself into a place you don't belong, to embrace the unfamiliar and let it transform you. This is how you rewrite the rules, by refusing to play by them. Step into the unknown and let it make you extraordinary. You need a plan. There isn't any other way. Because if you don't have one, society does, and they've been planning your life for decades. The world is not built for your success. Every system, every rule, every expectation is a carefully crafted plan, just not yours. It was designed long before you were born, built to funnel your energy, your potential, your life into someone else's dream. If you don't have a plan of your own, you are living by theirs. And their plan is not about your freedom. It's about your obedience. Without your own plan, you are nothing but a cog, spinning endlessly in a machine that will discard you the moment you falter. Society's plan is a trap hidden in plain sight. It promises security, stability, a roadmap to an average life. But that stability is a cage, and that roadmap leads nowhere worth going. Their plan is designed to keep you small, to keep you chasing rewards that don't matter, while the real power stays in the hands of those who wrote the rules. To live without your own plan is to surrender your life to them, to hand over your potential and let them waste it on their ambitions. A plan is not just a strategy, it is rebellion. It is the act of taking back control, of declaring that your life is yours and no one else's. Society doesn't fear those who follow the rules. It fears those who write their own. When you create a plan, you are no longer a pawn in their game. You become a player, a force that cannot be controlled. A plan is not just a tool, it is a weapon. Without a plan, you are adrift, a ship without a captain. Society is the current, and it will pull you wherever it wants you to go. Without direction, you are powerless, at the mercy of forces that do not care about you. A plan gives you control. It gives you purpose. It turns the tide in your favor, allowing you to chart your own course instead of being swept away. Their plan is designed to strip you of ambition. It feeds you just enough comfort to keep you quiet, just enough fear to keep you compliant. But comfort and fear are not substitutes for purpose. They are distractions, tools, to keep you from realizing that you deserve more. A plan of your own is the only way to escape this cycle, to break free from the limits they have imposed on you. Every moment without a plan is a moment wasted. Time is the currency of power, and without a plan, you are spending it on things that do not matter. Society's plan is built to waste your time, to keep you so busy with distractions that you never stop to question what you're doing. A plan is how you take back that time, how you turn it into something meaningful. Without a plan, your life is not your own. The absence of a plan is submission. It is a quiet agreement to live by someone else's rules, to let someone else decide what your life should be. A plan is the refusal to accept this. It is the act of rejecting their vision for you and creating one of your own. To have no plan is to accept mediocrity. To create a plan is to demand greatness. Society thrives on those without plans. It needs people to follow, to work, to obey without question. If everyone had their own plan, the system would collapse under the weight of so much freedom. That is why they discourage it, why they tell you that following their plan is easier, safer, better. But safety is a lie, and their plan is a slow death. A plan of your own is the only way to escape. Creating a plan is the first step toward freedom. It forces you to think, to decide, to take responsibility for your own life. Society wants you to avoid this. It wants you to stay distracted, to live in a haze of meaningless tasks. But a plan cuts through that haze. It gives you clarity, focus, and the strength to reject the limits they have placed on you. With a plan, you are no longer a servant. You are a creator. Rewrite the rules they gave you, for those rules were written to keep you living by their plan. Without a plan of your own, you are nothing more than a pawn in their game. Create a plan, and you take back your power. You are no longer living by their design. You are building your own. This is not just survival. This is victory.